Next up, at UFC Vegas 101, we have Abdul Razak Alhassan taking on Cesar Almeida in the featured fight of the evening. Abdul Razak Alhassan, 12-6 in his career, 2-2-1 in his last 5. He's coming off that no contest against Cody Brundage, taking on Cesar Almeida, 6-1 in his entire MMA career, 4-1 in his last 5. He's coming off that bounce back win over Ihor Potieria. Abdul Razak Alhassan. At this point in time, we've broken down enough times for you to know that he is actually a high-level judo practitioner. Sure, inside the octagon, he's a powerful striker. A judoka. Judoka.
I like that.
Well, and then there was some Muppet in the comments the other day was like, can we stop saying he's a high-level judo practitioner? Because he's not. Motherfucker, he literally is. He literally is. He is a high-level judo black belt who has competed his entire life at judo. Whether he uses that in a fist fight inside of
You got your karate chop. You got your judo chop.
Whether he uses those inside of a cage or not is an entirely different point that we will touch on here. But those skills exist. Inside of an octagon, he's not a high-level judo practitioner. Inside of an octagon, he's a powerful striker. He will headhunt and he will look for a knockout. He's an incredibly talented guy, but he doesn't use all the tools. This is very similar to the breakdown we just did of Chris Curtis, except more tragic because Abdul Razak Alhassan has insane power, insane speed, and high-level judo, but he's getting up there in age. He's taking on Cesar Almeida. Cesar Almeida is a big-time professional kickboxer. He had success at the highest levels. He beat Alex Pereira famously, and I think the UFC wanted to build both of these guys up, try to make something like that happen, but didn't exactly work when Cesar Almeida just got taken down 100 times in his last fight. He has clean combinations, big power, good work, very dangerous every second that the fight remains standing. His takedown defense in the middle of the cage doesn't exist. There is no takedown defense whatsoever. Against the cage, he could defend those takedowns because that's all anybody seems to work in an MMA gym. And before I go on some long, ridiculous rant about learning his scramble skills and defending takedowns without a wall or without a cage, we'll just leave it at it's ridiculous to compete in this sport and not practice that. He is coming off that win over Ihor Potieria where he was measured and controlled despite 4 eye pokes and a nut shot. And when I saw that Cesar was a minus 235 favorite when I first looked at this, I was like, boom, that's crazy. This should be much wider. And then you look at it over time, over a month specifically, and you start to get worried. And you start to worry about the takedowns and the takedown defense. Abdul did look phenomenal in his last fight. That fight was only 37 seconds long, but he looked good. He is a 39-year-old man, though. And you can't take his success in a under 1 minute fight to set odds. What you can, though, do is look at the fact that Abdul's got great judo and Cesar can struggle with takedown defense. If you think Abdul goes all in on the wrestling, like when he fought Buckley, then he's a great underdog here and you should go after it. If you think he's going to strike, then Cesar Almeida is going to be the pick. I am going to go with Cesar Almeida here. But damn it, I get a little bit worried. What do you think, Jakey boy?
So let me, I just want to make sure we get this straight. I think it's important moving forward. You believe that cheating is looking good in a fight?
Before the back of the head shots in question, he was real fast and looked pretty good. And he was very fired up in all the interviews.
He was about to struggle to defend a takedown, get taken down, and get fucking mauled. And he resorted to Gestapo tactics, back of the shot heads. I wouldn't be surprised if he had a blade on him of some sort. This guy was going in there, and he was going to win that fight any way possible, and that was with cheating, right? And in this fight, I just don't think that Abdul Razak Alhassan is that dude. I just don't think he's that dude. Now he's 40 years old and he's trying to turn on this like new persona of like, I'm going in there to kill everybody. And if he comes and just runs across the octagon like he did against Cody, and tries that illegal bullshit, reckless abandon against a guy like Cesar Almeida. Cesar Almeida has to be licking his fucking chops watching how recklessly he came at Cody Brundage as a powerful, high-level, experienced, counter-striking kickboxer. I mean, I think he can't wait for this matchup people want to talk about the wrestling. He doesn't really have wrestling, and you got to close the distance to get to the judo. And as long as Cesar Almeida kind of stays out of those clinches, I think he should roll here. He's a way, way, way better striker, and he's a tough dude as well. I mean, even if he's getting taken down, he knows how to just. I mean, even if he can't get back up, he's not getting beat up on the ground. And Abdul Razak Alhassan isn't known for like crazy ground and pound and whatever. So if he does get taken down, he'll bide his time. He can go 3 rounds, and I think Abdul, even if he's getting takedowns, is gonna fucking gas anyway. So Abdul might win the first round with takedowns, all that stuff, but eventually those takedowns aren't gonna fucking work. And when they stop working, good fucking luck.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're aligned here. I'm probably worried about the takedowns a little more than you. I mean, Roman Kopylov is a kickboxer that was taking him down all the time. That's what worries me. That's what gives me a little bit of like, uh-oh. And that was
going to be my reference for that Kopylov fight, was that Cesar Almeida did make him look like a real Russian. And don't get it mistaken, Kopylov is not a wrestler, and he looked like a real Russian in that fight. But Abdul, I mean, I know he's got power, but telegraphed power against a high-level counter-strike. I mean, that type of power doesn't translate. Like, Caesar's going to see that type of power a mile away. He doesn't set it up with combos. It's just big shots. It's not really fast. He's 40 years old. He's going to be slowing down. It's just...
The only thing what gave me some comfort, or like my coping mechanism, or what I convinced myself, is Caesar wasn't expecting Roman, another high-level kickboxer, to shoot takedowns. So was completely ill-prepared for that. But it happened. And hopefully it was like a wake-up call to set up the rest of
I know he works hard, too.
I mean, of course, but like...
He's working hard. You
spend your entire lifetime working on one skill set, and then late in life, how old is he?
34.
36. He's not that young.
Yeah.
36 years old. Now you're trying to learn an entirely new skill set. It's not the easiest thing in the world to do. And I would argue wrestling's harder to learn than striking. Because you can be shitty at wrestling, but if you get to the hips, it's a problem. Anyway, that's a debate for another day. Okay. $6,900. I think at that price point, Abdul Razak Alhassan's a phenomenal underdog. I think he's a great underdog here. I genuinely do. I'm still on the Cesar Almeida side. I think he's just too high level of a kickboxer, and it's very similar to the Chris Curtis breakdown. Until we see Abdul Razak Alhassan go all in on the grappling more than once. He did it against Buckley, but more than one time, then we just have to assume it's going to be more of the same, which is looking to take a very high-level kickboxer's head off. I do have bet on this fight. If you want to check out that bet, you can do so now. WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member. At the top, it's freaking $10. And if you don't know how well we've been doing, just check any of the recap videos from 2024, and it'll give you a nice
Cesar
little
barely
taste.
got past Ihor. Ihor's a fucking good striker.
Very good.
How many times have I said that? He's a very...
And he didn't barely get past him. He was poked in the eyes twice and kicked in the nuts the other way.
Ihor is fucking 10 times the striker Abdul is. Doesn't have the just overwhelming power, but technically he's a fucking really good striker.
Sure.